In Lab 2.11, we're asked to complete an inner join, and this is a self-join, as we're only using one table for this join, and that's the employee table. We're asked to write a select statement to show a list of all employees' first names and their manager's first names. This is also a list only employees that have a manager. As it only involves the one table, the employee table. We're asked to write a select statement to show a list of all employees' first names and their manager's first names, and to list only employees that have a manager. We're told to use aliases to give the result columns distinctly different names like employee and manager. So the best way to get started with this lab is to run a select statement to look at the data in the employee table. And so here's a look at the data. And we have the ID column, which is the employee's ID number, and then the first name, last name, and then the manager ID, which is just the employee ID of the person's manager. So in this case, David Wallace has no manager. Ryan Howard has the person with employee ID 1 as their manager, and that is David Wallace. So that's kind of a look at the data. Now, in this query, we're going to start building the query, so we're going to need a select statement. And so when we are writing a self-join, joining a table to itself, we need to, I'm going to go ahead and just show you this. So when we're doing this, we are going to be looking at the table and then a copy of the table. So this is the table, the employee table, and then we'll be using a copy of the table in order to achieve the results that we want. So when we write this join, we're going to be linking on the manager ID in one of the tables and the ID in the other table. So that would be in this table, maybe we could say that ID is the primary key, and in this table, manager ID is the foreign key linking back to the ID. It doesn't really matter which table we're talking about, but that is how we're going to link the two tables. So we'll start by, I'm going to go ahead and start with the from clause because we're going to have two copies of the employee table. Let's give the first one an alias of E. We must have an alias when we create a self-join because we have to have a way to distinguish between the two tables. So then we'll call the second copy of the employee table M. Now once you've set these aliases, you can use them in the select list. And in fact, you have to use them in the select list. So we're going to pull the first name, and I'm specifying E. So let's just say that's our first table, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to label this one E. Oops, sorry, not C. And then this one could be M. And I'm thinking, okay, so now we're going to pull first name from the employee table, and we're going to call this one employee. We've been asked to give aliases to these columns for our result set. And then M dot first name, and this would be the manager's first name. Okay, then we have our join, and then we just need to specify where we're joining the tables. And so sorry, spelling issues. Okay. So again, looking at our tables, we're going to join E.manager ID. So we're joining this field, we're linking this field to M.id. So foreign key here, primary key here. It doesn't really matter, but that is the field we're joining on. And then we're also asked to order by the employee first name. Before I do that, I want to go ahead and run this query so we can take a look. And so this is just the data in the table, and then this is where we have the result set. So notice that we have these alias names, so we can distinguish between the employee name and the manager name, and we can see that Ryan's manager is David, and then Michael's manager is Ryan, and so on. And then once we add the order by clause, we're asked to order by employee first name, and then run that. And so now we just have an alphabetized list that we can look and see who is each employee's manager.